Hi guys, how's it going? Can anybody hear me? Hello? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Loud and clear. Good to hear, good to hear. How are you guys doing? I don't think I have done a stream after the volatile rape of market participants around like 10th of October. Like just, if you count this candle just on the 10th of October, it's like, wow, that's like a minus $70,000 worth of move. And that's like, that's all of that is done in like just one day. How's everybody holding so far in this market? The last time I streamed, I think we were here. We were here, and I was pretty much like sharing shorts with Mondo, and that was the last time I streamed. And now I'm just like looking at the chart. A lot of like stuff we said in the last stream is pretty much like playing out, which is pretty nice. But this sort of volatile move like took a lot of people out, which is very sad. I think it took almost like 0.5% of the market out, which is even sadder because like the more the market loses interest in like the market, or the more people get liquidated, it's likely that those sort of like participants are likely just like vanishing from the industry itself, and they probably won't return. I mean, a lot of like the people would like get liquidated and then just gamble back again, but like most of the time it's like people just quit after enduring such losses. I know a friend who lost like 330k on this like move down, and his trade was like based on spot, and on this like move up he thought that this entire move down is gonna retrace all the way back up to like 130k, which I think I posted it the moment like this sort of move happened. I was like, do not expect price to go back all the way up if it does not happen like 72 or 40 like 8 hours, which something like I posted on my Twitter as well. We did like a Discord VC session. If you guys have like updates on my tweets, I posted that like private session for everybody for public, so you guys can have some alpha as well, where I mentioned like if we do not retrace this move up in like 48 to 72 hours, which was like by this time, if we do not like simply what the reasoning for that is, like if price does like a liquidation event, the only two scenarios to get out of that event is that two scenarios. One is like bad, one is like good, and the only good scenario is that price pretty much retraces all the way back up to the break structure level. That could be like somewhere here as well. It retraces all the way back up to the break structure level and start like momentum grinding around those levels. So you would have needed to see momentum grind right around here and then around here for you to be like go fully bullish. And if that sort of momentum happened around here, I don't think like prices would have stopped like at 128. It would have likely gone all the way up to like 140, 150k. But since none of that happened and we did not get to retrace any of that in like 72 to 48 hours, that we have just like shifted into a very bearish trend overall in the market. Yeah, I know the title references like Mondo. I have no idea how to change that. My editor is not here with me right now, so I just like started the stream. That's one mistake. Well, we're gonna learn while we stream. Yeah, just going back to what I see over here, and I think I posted like multiple times. If we do not retrace like 42 hours, we're gonna survive like a insufferable chop. And I have an example of like this insufferable chop, by the way. I have this like somewhere. Let me just show you. Yeah, around here. So this is the PA that the current PA resonates with this PA the most out of like the entire BTC chart that I see, all the way back up to like I think I could relate this as well, because I'm just taking into consideration what sort of like liquidity or movement occurs with the market whenever there's like a flash crash, and this could be considered like a flash crash as well. Like this right here is a flash crash, and what price mainly does is like whenever price like starts to nuke, that just completely end up in a liquidation event. What it generally does is that it like starts to fade out that sell momentum, because we know that okay, if it's an uptrend, it's likely that there's a lot of liquidity that is sitting below the lows. A lot of it, let's just say a lot of it is like taken. My buys get liquidated here, your buys get liquidated here, my friends' buys get liquidated here, and a lot of liquidations in the market. But the market is not just like just only buys that are getting liquidated. It's still like it's shorts as well. Now shorts get cocky and then they over position all the way down to here, and eventually hits like a passive bid that is way bigger than the current market shorts, like the market shorts, which pretty much like that passive bidding like outweighs the aggressive selling into some level. And what happens, like that marks a bottom. Usually this happens just around a low. The flash crash usually stops at a very pivotal higher low, which could change the entire trend of like the higher time frame itself. Or usually it like crashes up into some pivot like this here. It pretty much like did not break. I don't think it broke. I think it like pretty much held a low. This is where the flash crash usually stops. And if you go to the current PA as well, if you go here as well, it like this flash crash, it also stopped at a significant higher low, and this is the significant higher low that led to the move up all the way to the all-time high in 2021, all the way up to like 68, and we did not break that. And this is the move that sort of grind up that led to this entire move up, and we did not break that. So basically the flash crash, if you ever get to see some, and I don't think like people know how to trade it exactly as well, or how to even recognize it. And I have shared this like multiple times in my Discord. I have this like in my alpha as well. I posted it like a week or two before, when like we were supposed to get like a sort of flash crash. I think this is the one. Yeah. So what you basically do whenever you want to recognize a sort of a flash crash is you want to see this sort of structure happening. Let me see if I can like give me a second, guys. Let me see if I can try to draw something on my screen. Okay, give me a second. Okay, I can try to draw. Okay. So whatever happens when you are looking at a flash crash, what you want to first of all avoid is, let's just say we are grinding up, and we are grinding up, and this is like very useful information. Like if you got liquidated on this flash crash, or if you were not able to like manage your positions very well on this flash crash, expect this to happen again soon, because we have pretty much shifted the trend. This could happen anytime. This could happen like maybe in a week. This could happen in a year, but you have to be prepared for something like this, because this sort of PA is very recognizable. And I was like, I'm pretty sure me and my friends were like delta neutral and then delta negative on these highs. We were pretty much like shorting all the way down here, because we recognize this sort of PA. And basically what I'm looking for here is, let's just say price is like grinding up and we're like forming a trend that is going up. One thing that you have to take into consideration, most of the time the flash crash occurs, it does not occur in the middle. So if you have a pivotal low and if you have a pivotal high, it's not likely that the flash crash would occur right in the middle. That's something that does not happen at all, especially in the hard time frame. On the hard time frame, this sort of flash crash needs to build up a lot of liquidity to be able to fade and lead to a continuous move down. And the reason like this sort of like crash happens in the first place, let's just say there's a lot of people that are longing all the way on this trend. Let's just say price moves from this low all the way up to here. There's a lot of people that keep longing here and here and here. And I'll differentiate between two trends. So let's just say there is another trend and price did not flash crash here. It just like went a bit down and then it went back up from like this level. Okay. And the difference between these two scenarios is the flash crash, right? And why does that sort of flash crash happen? And it happens because the liquidity that is built up on this level right here is usually closed or taken out minutely or like timely. And what happens is, let's just say there's a guy who longed like 100 BTC here. He's longed like 100 BTC and price goes up, and then he's closed like 50 BTC here. Price retraces and he's long like another 50 BTC, but he's closed like 50 BTC again. So he's like this sort of like what basically is going on, like there's a lot of OI that's going up, open interest is going up. That means people are opening positions, but it's going down as well. So it's becoming like delta neutral at some point, that people are like opening positions and they're taking profits as well. The reason that this sort of like liquidity sweep happens in the first place is that people are only just building liquidity up, and they're not like taking profits. And what the OI looks like on something like this is something like this most of the time, and it could be, it doesn't have to be BTC pair alone, it could be some other pair that is leading the market as well. And what happens is, like, since there's a lot of liquidity built up, one more thing, it's not gonna happen in the middle. The reason why it happens at the highs is because there's more liquidity to build up. Okay, so there's a lot of people that enter the highs and they expect for price like go all the way back much higher. So what they do is, like, to break the price out, they keep longing again. So they keep providing more positive delta. Let's just say another guy longs like 100 BTC right here, and he expects price to go all the way back up. But what happens is, like, price does not go all the way back up because there's just a lot of passive sells that are just sitting and just stalling the price. And what happens eventually, that like a lot, let's just say it's not just this guy, it's like 100 of these guys that are just building liquidity, thinking that price will like boom pop up in 1 second. But what's happening is, like, a lot of passive selling is like holding that price down, and what's happening is, like, price is being held down, and the moment price goes below their entry, so if you long here, price goes up a bit and somebody sells and then your entry is down, boom, you are in a loss. Let's say you long 100 BTC, you're maybe down like 100k, 100 or a $1 million position, right? And what happens, like, you're since you are not like and I'm talking about like the general audience and even the whales, they wouldn't have like their liquidations down right here. Maybe they have like their liquidations all the way down. So for them to be liquidated, we need a bigger move like this. But their liquidation is so big that whenever the market hits that sort of like liquidation level, it like nukes another $200 on BTC, $500 on BTC, and that sort of level is very important. And basically what's going on in this sort of like PA is that a lot of liquidity just keeps building up, and maybe people have taken profits, but they keep aping back into the highs. Maybe they have like taken profits on the way move up to the external POI, but they keep building up that sort of momentum grindish POI, OI. And what happens is, like, that eventually leads to an overloading of longs. And the moment like aggressive shorts or sells hit the market, those guys go underwater. And the more they go underwater, they probably try to bid, but it just happens to so that like this sort of bidding is not visible here anymore, and the sellers just become more and more aggressive, and they just keep hitting liquidations and liquidations and liquidations. And whenever you get liquidated, like, that's sell in the market, and that just leads to a much further move down. That basically like fucks up the entire market. And to be able to recognize this, maybe you are not able to recognize this whenever price gets to a high. Let's say price gets like an all-time high, you're not able to recognize it based on whatever that sort of rejection is, but you are able to recognize this based off of the PA that I have marked out here. And what you need to recognize is that what happens is, like, there's a very like a niche sort of like slow grind structure that happens. And the thing is, like, that slow grind is so like recognizable. It's like it's consistent low breaks, high holds, and you can see like on the open interest, you can see on the CVD, there's a lot of like bids that keep building up for price to like just reverse. But it's just that there's way more aggressive sellers, and they just like keep letting bids fail, and eventually that hits a point where there's a lot of liquidation like just sitting at one level. And what that is, like, whenever that hits, somebody like, just let's just say that liquidation level is very close, and there's a guy who's trying to save his like liquidation. He buys a lot, but there's a very big aggressive shorter that recognizes that liquidation level, and he just like shorts. And what that does is that liquidation level leads to a very big move down. And knowing that this is not the place that's left with like bigger liquidation levels, there's a lot of liquidation levels that are sitting much below, but people did not expect this level to hit in like an hour or in like 10 minutes in the first place, and there's more aggressive sells. And when that liquidation level hits, price leads to a much more aggressive move down, and then people did not expect this liquidation level to hit as well, and then that leads to a much further move down. And whenever you see this sort of PA happening, if price has moved down like minus 3k, if it has moved down like minus 5k, that's a sort of a move that could be considered like intraday, a very volatile bearish momentum day. It could be something that retraces all the way back up the next day. But the moment it extends that move up to like minus 7k, do not like look to bid that move anyway or anyhow, until and unless that sort of like grind down eventually like picks up a bit and it retraces immediately like 10 to like at least like 25 to like 30% of the move. That's when you want to like start bidding momentum. That's when you know there's like more delta for shorts that trapped. And I know there's a lot of people that are shorting this low. They expected price to go much lower, but it did not go lower. Now those people can be used as bait and price could go much higher. So that's where you want to enter into your longs. And the place you would want to enter in your shorts would likely be this slow grind, because by the time we are like moving down like this, you would the slippage would probably kill you if you're just marketing in, or you would have no idea how to execute it. This is something that you should be aware of, because it's likely going to happen sometime other again, sometimes else as well. And this is what has happened so far. And what to do afterwards, let's just take a look at current market price before I go to explain what to do afterwards. This is a setup that I think we posted in the chat as well. This is a long setup that I've been looking for some time. I think my friends are long here as well. Biscuit is long, Ansh is long, and then there's like Ribs, Yagami is long. Yeah, this is a long setup that I am in as well. Just with a very minor position. What is this? Long soul. And let me just take a look at, I think there was like Ribs that posted a very nice chart. I'm just gonna like take a look at that chart. And I'll just show you guys the very specific chart right here that I was looking to trade. I don't see it right here. Okay, this guy is long as well. This is like a very nice long to take, because we are essentially in a higher time frame POI. We are like pretty much just above that like wick low right here, and we are pretty much into a higher time from FVG as well. What we are essentially seeing here is a form of range reversal that has formed. I forgot the name of the setup, but this is very common to see. And what happens, like there's like this sort of move that happens, an SFV to it. We get a break structure. This is a Quasimodo, a very classic Quasimodo. Price comes all the way back up to this low. This is where you just like ape into that long. And if you see this POI that I marked all the way here, and whenever price comes all the way back up here and it starts to slow grind, there's another setup for you. This is a very understandable and repetitive long setup that you can take. And if it does not break this high, it could likely come down here and hold this low and then pop all the way back up. Probably not pop all the way back up, but at least to, let's mark this like as an order block, at least to like this order block right here, or I guess this is the order block. Yeah, at least to like this order block, the half of this like aggressive move down. And yeah, now going back to what I was trying to explain of this like current chart right here, is that whenever this sort of move happens, like a lot of times like people are just confused what to do, which is very natural, which is very common. Maybe you have not gone through it. What happens basically is the price either retraces all the way back up to the initial move that led to this entire nuke down, which to me would be like this high right here, this candle right here. What happens is like price either retraces all the way back up to this move up here in like 48 hours time, 48 to like 72 hours time. And if the time is frame and that move is not done in that time frame, what happens, like price starts to form a range, and then it starts to form a very insufferable range, a sort of range that goes on for weeks and weeks and months. And depending on where this sort of price is on the higher time frame, if it's in like premium, and this below is the discount, and let's say price is grinding up, and it comes down here, it comes all the way up, there's a flash crash. Okay, if the price is in premium and prices do not go all the way back up in like 48 hours time, what happens is it starts to form a very insufferable range. And knowing that the price is in premium, that sort of range eventually breaks down. This is what happens most of the time, is what I've seen, right? But if that sort of flash crash happens in like, boom, the discount, it and it does not retrace all the way back up to the high in like 48 hours, it like likely starts to form a range and then eventually breaks higher. This is how most of the time the sort of like aftermath of the market is like developed. And this is what like I'm currently watching. This to me is like a very insufferable range. If we continue to hold this low, we could like go all the way back up here. We could like start to form a range here. But just seeing how aggressive this move is, if we just like start to stall too much around here, and we start to like grind around here, which would look something like this. If you start to like do this sort of price action right here again, I just want to like know that if we do that, we're gonna go all the way down to like 85 to like 87. There's a lot of liquidity that's like just sitting below here, and any sort of bounces, this is a POI that I can like mark out. Any sort of bounces right here would just like be considered for me like dead cat bounces. Like they go all the way up to the high, but they do not break the high. Just like a very bearish momentum structure. This is what is likely the outcome of all of this setup right here. And yeah, let's take a look at the lower time frame again, and that's pretty much the higher time frame view of what I see here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. By the way, we are I know I have like messed up the title, but I'm doing like a session with One Piece today, and we're gonna go over a bit more details on the gold pair as well. And let's just welcome One Piece, a very good friend of mine, posts a lot of trades in Shinicord, and is like lost a lot of like accounts, like funded accounts in the beginning, but like that's how you learn, and he's like very profitable these days. Well, One Piece, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, hey, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. What about you? You good?
Doing good. What's your thoughts on the current BTC market?
Yeah, let me first like share my chats if it's possible here.
Yeah, if you're in Zoom call with me, you should be able to like see pen option on the bottom left, and you can just draw on my screen, by the way.
Okay.
Let me take a look at the chat till then. Mondo, welcome. Fexus, welcome. Good morning, Medic. And player 99000, One Piece Gold. For XEU, yes, sir. And Mike said, can you re-upload these to YouTube, please? I have all of these like just sitting around in like hourly sessions. I'm gonna upload this all at once, hopefully tomorrow. Broken X Thumb asked, good spot, goodbye, good spot to buy.
Yeah, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that. Let me first. Could you like unshare your screen so I can share the screen?
Yeah, sure. Okay, you can share the screen now. I'll just show you guys your screen.
Well, I'm not able to share the screen. I guess we
Uh,
have to disable it.
yeah,
Could you check if it's?
you should be able to share the screen. Check now.
Yeah, I'm able to. Let me just share the screen.
One Piece XAU, yes. And I have no idea how to read this guy's name. XJ Moi. What would PA look like to get back to like 120k? Good question. To get back to like 120k all the way back up to like here. I guess the best idea, the best sort of like setup that you would have right now is that you expect for a range to form, and how that would form is like you would want this low to hold specifically. If this sort of low breaks, there is a lot of liquidity that is like sitting down right here, and like these lows, this low as well, and that would just lead us to like a bigger, higher time frame, higher low structure right here, and that would just like mess with a lot of people. So what you would want to see here, the best idea would be to see like a range form, because for me to tell you that it's gonna go up, it's gonna go all the way up in like a week,
You can
that's
hear it,
not gonna
right?
happen. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me share this one here.
So if you expect like price to go all the way back up in just like a week, that's not gonna happen, and I don't like like to provide hopium as well. So the best bet here would be the price starts from a range form value like this sort. And after that, it would be much better to just like let price develop. And the more the price develops, because this sort of like flux has taken out so many people that it's okay to give some time for the market to breathe. And the moment it does, you like it would be very obvious. The moment
You guys can
price,
see the screen, right?
uh, let me just share the guys your screen. Give me a second. Uh, give me a second. Okay. I think we are able to see your screen now. Yep.
Okay, that's great. So my take on BTC right now on a higher time frame is currently bearish. I would like it to be bullish because like it's holding this low, which is very critical at the moment. And this FVG, like gave us the push that we needed towards up. But if you look at some, like economical and political views currently, you will find it to be more bearish. And or if you go for the lower PYs, which we front in the last bull run, from 75, then you will find it a bit more logical that the push this time is gonna, like not recover the price back towards these FVGs that you guys are looking above, like 113, 115. It's very unlikely that we're going to that price very soon because this range, which we were hoping for, I don't think so that is gonna happen because if we were gonna like end up in an unsufferable range, which Shini was talking about, I believe the price would have held these areas, this area specifically, before going towards 105, like which was like an extreme of this position. Uh, Now, what I do believe is that we're gonna dump on the weekends, and after the weekend opened, we're gonna dump more. Okay, like we could see some red candles forming, and this is not the first time we have seen that. Like Shini just told you guys back in 2001, we have already seen this happening, right? We have seen this kind of structure forming. Even in like May 2021, you can see like when there was a break, we have seen some retracement, but afterwards, when the high was taken down again, like there was, like the SFP of the high, there is no retracement back towards, like the FVGs above. So my take currently is that we just gonna like dump it more down. As I also posted on my X that we're gonna see some new lows on alts also. Like if you think this was the push that you bought and you're safe with it, I would like you to think again because I have the like bottomest position you can have on this. Like below this, it's just like 100% down, and the price goes to zero, right? Like it's just 100% down. So, I'll say WIF is kind of safe for me right now, but for other coins like which have more room to go down, they will definitely go down. I'll say AVEX has more room to go down. I'll say HBR has more room to go down. If you just look at a high time frame, even LTC is not safe. LTC is also not safe. But once like these moves happen, afterwards they're already goodbye. Like I've already predicted, like Whiff can definitely give you like 100, like 1,000% move if you kind of buy from these areas and these areas, definitely. And AVIX is also a good buy because we have to retest back these highs, which we will most likely after this rally ends. And if you just talk about Ethereum and Solana, you will see many good POIs down than up, right? There is already an SFP of this. Let me just say, I guess there was before, yeah, that was very. We've already SFP of ATH, if you just look at this. Now it did make a new ATH, but there has been, like no retracement back towards the extremes, right? The price already rejected from here, and I do believe that this rally after this ends, we can see these lows getting hit. Then we can take back the ATH. I'm quite bullish on Sol and Ethereum right now because BTC is like up like 126 from this ATH, like the previous ATH, and Ethereum has just SFP its ATH in the last rally. So hopefully we can pump Ethereum back if there is kind of like retracement here on BTC, but most likely we're just gonna range in this area.
Nice. What do we think about gold?
My take on metals right now is that don't play hard, like long-term positions. I've seen many people get destroyed on bias. Even myself, like I almost lost my funded just trading on a bias thing that we can retrace it, we
What
can like
what
short it.
what do you mean?
Because
What do you mean by like taking long-term positions on XE right now? Like you mean buy or like sell?
well, buys are good, but even buys, like you don't know when it's gonna stop. Like this is an extreme position. Like I'll just say, this low was supposed to, like pump it back towards more, right? Because that is what we are seeing in the last full week. If you just talk about the full week, you will find this happening. This is the
Yeah.
craziest pumped ever. Like if you just look at weekly structure, this is the craziest pump ever on gold, even on silver. There has been like no pump like this before, right? So every low was going for the new ATH, right? If you just go for like 15 for 5 minutes, you will find every low making a new ATH. If you see a low, you just long it, you will be getting an ATH. Even the high, you can like just hold the position, right? But even the longs are not safe right now. If you see this kind of dump, you'll definitely think that this is a new low. You'll long it, right? But it's just gonna come back. It's not gonna like just not hold that position for long. If you're longing it at this point, you can just keep it near the high or like the extreme of this position, like this area. You can just keep it, just don't hold it. Scalping is the best way to like be safe from the current situation of the market, even on gold, even on BTC, or even anywhere you trade right now. Scalping is the best thing you can do in this market.
Yeah, wait,
Long-term holds are
there's a question like is Ethereum gonna beat gold on the race to 5K? And I'm just gonna show you guys the 5K waiting room. You guys can like join these guys in the 5K waiting room. Everybody's like waiting for 5K, and we're I don't think we reach either on those very soon, and we're just gonna front run that round number as usual, and then just like continue chop maxing.
well, if you say the race for 5K, I will say Ethereum is gonna beat gold for sure because we have seen a railing of gold for a full week now, right? It would be crazy that you see another full week of gold rallying up, right? So it can happen if you look at it economically, and if you look at it on a political view, because my friend Trump is always, like on I guess, on something. You can say that he just have to, like come here and just give some shit, and it's just gonna like pump gold more, even on silver after breaking this ATH, it's just rallying up towards high. Because, but I do believe that we need to, like see some retracement back on silver after as this ATH, like as this ATH is broken. We need some more accumulation before pumping it back up more, right? So I'm thinking that if we do that, if we come back a bit, we can see, like gold coming back towards this area 32. It's like too low. If you look at it, it's like 23%. I don't believe that that's going to happen, right? But This is like an extreme position which I would like to buy gold for physically. Like I would like to buy gold physically because overall, gold is pumpish. So if the price comes here, I'll just buy it physically and hold it till this high, which is quite possible for it happening, right? But that is long-term hold, right? For short term, I'm currently looking at this 4040 area because we have always seen some follow-ups on the low, right? Now I would like to see more follow-ups here towards this PY 4180, then a pump towards 43, then a dump towards 4K, right? I would like to see this happening in the next week. Even if it's not the next week, like most probably in 2 weeks. This is what I'm expecting. So I can buy it in at this area for a move towards either ATH or either this high, which it will make. Let's see, silver. I remember sharing this setup in Discord and Telegrams. Like the price is gonna just rally up from 29 towards 80. Everyone was saying it's crazy like that. That's not gonna happen because a silver is not that strong. At that time, silver wasn't. But after that rally, gold gave us, and what's like if you look at it on multiple things, you will find silver to be more attractive than gold these days. And I don't think so. This is going to stop. Like, if you talk about gold, I do believe that it will and it might stop at some point. If you talk about 5K, yeah, I think so. It can reach 5K, but it will be, like chopping at some point. But if we talk about silver, that's not going to happen. Like, my next target right now is currently 120K. I do believe that we can reach 120K within next year. That's just like I'm quite bullish on silver. It's a big percentage. Like it's like more than 100%. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for sure. Silver is quite strong than gold in many terms. And if we talk about dollar, um, I have seen many people, like disagreeing that the dollar can come from here, and it's quite true. Like it's forming highs. It's already rejected from this high, near the high. We can see, like see some continuation towards down, but I do believe that we can give one small push towards this area 103 by holding this low. I'm still, like waiting for some good news. Like not this business permits. I'm waiting for, like the rate cuts that didn't, like yeah, NFP didn't happen like last month, right? So I'm just waiting for like good news on gold. Oh, sorry, on dollar right now, so I can see some push towards up. Because if it's like dump towards this area, I do believe the price can come in this area. I would like to see some rotation back towards 103 before this 94 and 93 area. Let's talk about euro. Euro is in a very good position to short, I'm not gonna lie, because it has already given us a break, a small break, like not a big break, but a small structure break here. And if it gives a continuation, like I told you in Dixie, if it gives you like a move up, then are we just gonna like inversely proportional, right? We're just gonna like give a break towards this FPG here. I do believe this could take us back towards the high. The same play I'm looking at gold, sorry, dollar right now. Oh, what do you think about this, Shinigan? Like, do you think this could happen?
On what? DXY?
Yeah, on Dixie and like
Let me
on Euro.
yeah, let me take a look at DXY. I wanted to
Let me just read
discuss
the questions.
let's just yeah,
Okay, BTC.
DXY.
Never.
I don't look much at DXY anymore. I don't think it's like my sort of pair. but I think I have this on the higher time frame. I have no idea when I like this mark this out. Or actually, this is not my chart. Wait, probably this. I guess I would have a very similar outlook to the
On
X5
board
myself,
sources within all periods contain macros.
and
I'm considering macros. I'm considering macros because that the macros is the main thing. Gold is currently at 44, for like 4,400. It's just because of the macros. If you look at it on a PE basis, gold shouldn't be at this level. Gold should be still in the 30, like the 3,000 area. It's just because of the macros that I do believe silver can, like go towards 100 or 120.
nice. Do we have any questions in the chat? Let me just take a look at the chat itself. 38, 400 gold POI, yeah, around 3 for 1,500. You being strongly bullish on silver is just based solely PO, or are you considering macros, One Piece?
As I said, it's macros, man. It's macros.
Right. Uh,
Macros is the main
and
thing I'm currently
and
looking
what
at.
what do you think? What is like macro to you? Like, what is the higher time
Macro, right?
frame? Yeah.
Well, let me just give you some option, right? First of all, it's risk aversion, right? When you can see crypto is not, like making you good monies, right? In this market, right? So you will go to gold, right? And when you see gold is already up like 4,400, you're not gonna invest in this, right? Because many investors will think this might just be the top. Like I'm talking about small investors like me, or even if you have big investors, they will definitely think if the price reverses from here, even if the price goes up from here, how much up it can go? Like 50%, 20%, 30%, 20%, like a 10%, 15%, then it's just gonna rotate. It's just gonna like play some diversion. Sorry, what you can say consolidation. It can just play consolidation for a long time, right? And even can go down. But if you look at silver in that way, you will definitely find more benefits than gold because if it goes towards that area for a long-term investor for like me, I'll say that this is a very good buy because let me tell you about this thing. Just go to 4 hours on gold. You will see this kind of structure which you're seeing right now on silver. This was supposedly the ATH of silver, right? This was the ATH of silver. And when you break it, you will see continuation towards up, right? This kind of structure is what I'm hoping the silver is going to show to us in the following weeks. That's what's going to happen. You will just see continuation towards up like this, a rally towards up, not down. Because if it goes down, then it's definitely going to retest the lows. Not these lows, I mean. It's just going to retest this kind of area, right? It's just going to like then range back towards this area. But if we break through, like we have already done so, if we hold these areas, it's just going to rally up towards 120, easy.
I think before it rallies up, I think it's likely that it forms a value first. That would be
Yeah,
the
that's
better
what I'm
end of like
suggesting.
a rallying move up. Just forming value the way it does before running up.
Yeah, just see this on gold. Same structure, nothing is changed. It's just, like it's a different pair, but it's forming the same thing, right? So most likely this shit is gonna happen on silver
One piece,
and maybe
one
go
question
even
like
more ways
a lot
down.
of people want to know about you is like how did you go from like losing a lot of fundeds to getting a bunch of payouts and fundeds? How did that journey feel and how did that journey go for you? And how did you like discover your strategy? Because I could explain mine for so long, but like people need to understand how like you who trade just gold and it's basically just forex. How did you like discover your strategy and does the Shiny X flow help you in any of that?
Well, it does. If you know, so like this is my first group. I started from Shinicord. I came into Shinicord and I just started from it. You taught me many things, but BTC did not work out for me in the start, right? I only traded BTC at that moment, and the price used to fuck me up. The risk management used to fuck me up. So what I did, I took a break. I look at what I can do and look at different pairs which I can work my strategy with, and I find gold the most compatible with my strategy. Which you can go with good management, like good risk management, and you can
And
see
like,
some good continuation setups.
can you expand a bit more on what exactly is your strategy? How do you trade? Is it like slow grind continuation setups? Is it like reversals? What is something that you see is so like interesting to you that you're willing to bet money on it for?
Well, I mostly trade your continuation setups and MSV entries. Like Shini has like four entry models, right? So I work with two models at the moment. It's like MSV and continuation, right? So because they have the highest win rate right now. If you look at continuation setups, I'll just show you some of an example here on gold. If you see this kind of as an SFP of the low, you just have to wait for a continuation to form. Like you can see the price coming back towards this area. This is an order block, right? And when the price gives you a break on a lower time frame, what I do, I wait for a break. I see this kind of break happening. I see a break of structure, and then I take an entry for like 1 by 2 hour, 1 by 3 hour, whatever works for me. I would enter with my stops at this low, the low that is formed, and I would go for like a 1.5 or 2 hour. If the entry is going good, I will just like put a break even and take out partials. I'll just expand my TP towards the extreme. Like in this area, this is the extreme, right? So I'll just expand my TP towards the extreme. That this strategy is quite kind of working for me a lot. And if you want to look at some market structure break entries, uh, that is currently not happening in the market. Just going to be honest with you. That is not happening. If you see a market structure break like this is a market structure break, right? This is a market structure break. And you will think of entering in this area, right? And put the stop loss at the high. You would target this low, right? This setup might have worked, but in previously, as I've told you, all the lows were making new highs. All the lows were just going for new highs. If you had entered in any of these areas, the shorts that I was telling you about, you would enter in this extreme, put the stop loss at the high, and go for that. You just still be in loss, right? So that kind of setup was not helping in this PA. But if you talk about continuation, it was always there. Continuation setup is what I opt for right now for scalping. But market structure break is something I'm not going for these days because of the current PA that the gold has found. And
Nice.
if you talk about like how I ended up being profitable, it was just a risk management thing. Like even if you see my channel, I'm always telling you how much risk to take. Like if I'm currently logging in this area, which I'll definitely not take because there is no break here. The price is just ranging. But if I took a long here, right, and my TP is at this high, this is like the 2 hour setup, right? I'll risk like zero point 0.3 or like which is 0.3% of the account, and I'll just wait for the TP. If not TP, like I'll wait for like if the price is starting to like consolidate in this area, I like coming to my entry again and again. I'll just close it. I will not just keep it so it can go to my SL. I'm just gonna look for a new entry which will be like below this low, which is the extreme of this position around here. Oh, let me just clear the chart. This low.
Somebody said BC is going well. Let me just like look at BC real quick. Yep, that's going pretty well. The long that I have on BC is from around here, 105 to 100 entry. That's my entry. And I guess like now that it's hit my POI at the order block right here, which I just goes like it's just gonna grind up and it's just gonna go all the way up. I guess you can like TP partials, but since I don't see any sort of like weakness in this trend right now, I guess the better thing that you can do with yourself is just let it develop. And this is a low that I've been like looking to see if it like grinds up right here. It's gonna go all the way back up to here. But if it starts to stall, if it starts to like chop and then just starts to range and shit, it's gonna come back to the lower PY that's like this under 5k again. So the best bet is to just like TP some partials and look for like re-entries around like this price right here. And let me just like mark it out for you guys. Right here, if it breaks down, if it starts to chop, it's gonna go to this POI and removing all of this. This might be how it executes. Just ranging more rotations and stuff. It's how like price is gonna execute. Well, nice long though. Everybody's that in the chat. I think everybody like took the long, and then I think when I started the stream itself, I am pretty sure I shared that everybody was like pretty much long. And yeah, Leon, not pretty nice trade, nice trade. So did Yagami, and there's Geeked as well. Few longs. If it dumps now, well, I guess you can just like partial. Good trade. Well, back to what One Piece was like sharing.
Oh yeah, I was also looking at BDC the moment you said it's going well. I'm looking at this area. It's like an extreme of this position, and I'm thinking that if the price has to go down, it should be around here. If not, then we'll just rally it from this area towards the upper P rise. But most likely, if it's a continuation, right? If it's a trend setup, it should dump from around this area.
Yeah, most likely. What would
If it's a
your
trend setup.
entry confirmation be for something like this?
Well, what I mostly do is I go for like if I'm gonna risk like 0.3% of the account, right? I will definitely take 0.15% as you can say a pending order in this area. Okay. And
Nice.
after confirmation, like which I'll see happening around here, if I see some kind of SFP of an entry, or if I see a break and I see the price coming back towards a good position, I'll enter 0.15 then. Just take those two entries towards either the next extreme, which should be around here and around here. Then I'll close some of it for one position around here and some of it the other position around here. What could be the best profile you can recommend? I will just go with MCF right now. It's not just because like we're partnering with them. It's because currently in this market you will find MCF as the best platform right now. It's user friendly. It has, like lower fees than other firms, and yeah, everything's good about it. Even the support is good. You won't find, like this kind of support anywhere else right now.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions in the chat? I'd like to know what sort of positions everybody is in at the moment.
Well, Shin, do you have like some coins you are looking at for future purposes, like for spot buys? Because currently what we're looking at is just with HBR, AVIX, LPC, and Dodge.
What do you mean?
Saying good spot coins to buy or look out for.
I think I'm more of a bidding momentum guy than I am like bidding limits. It's more my style to just like bid momentum because that's supposed to be like the fastest working trade. If like I'm just bidding like levels, let's say There's like levels that are like seeing right here. I have to wait for the levels. Maybe they don't get the reaction, and price goes even further below. Then it ends up working. I don't like to do that. I like to trade more momentum. So I'll enter on where like price actually starts to move up. So that's how I like to trade. And let's say momentum based of trading, I just don't see the bullish momentum in the market at the moment. The moment it hits, it's gonna be a much faster and easier trade for me. And
Okay, so
an example for that would be when we were nuking down right here, and when we were like doing this sort of like retrace a little back up, there were a lot of coins that moved all the way back up to even like highs, which out of which one was like HUSDT. And if you go to my latest YouTube video that's been posted publicly, we were pretty much like public about long HUSDT, XLM, this and that. And a lot of these coins, like based off of momentum, they ran up to TPs. And these are the sort of trades that are the fastest because it's not you that's doing the job. You're not like lifting the market up yourself. It's the
mhm.
market itself that's like going up. And what's happening is like whenever you're setting limits, I just don't like them because that's a very long trade to play out. Sometimes it's like one reaction and boom, it goes all the way up. But if it's not that, it's the probability is like low when you're bidding limits. So I just like to trade momentum. Let's say it's a very bearish trade, but like eventually it starts to like grind up again and again. And that sort of like bullish momentum is where I like to like just all in onto trades and just play those. That's how I personally like to trade altcoins. And that is also considered to be like beta plays most of the time when you're looking at a major sort of like BTC and stuff. Whiteville asked, I'm struggling between partials and fixed TP. How did you get better with that One Piece?
After losing a lot of accounts, I would say you just like learn with experience. But I would say like this kind of setup, if you go for this, if you take two positions, right, like one at pending and one afterwards, then you can just close one at an extreme, and you can keep the other towards the TP. That kind of works for me. Like psychologically, if we speak, you would like to close the one position at an extreme, and then you will be, like partialed out. You'll be fully partialed out. Half position will be closed, and your half position will just go towards the TP either, or go towards your SL, right? If you have not keeping it break even, that is. But if you are, like facing an issue right now, like where you can't do this, you are like facing it like mentally, because many situations like this happens mentally, right? You're not able to close the position at the said PY that you think the price is going to rotate back. So you can do this. Well, you can try doing this. If that does not help, then it's just that you have to like make a harder choice. Quit trading.
Photo asks how to talk to girls. If I knew how to talk to girls, I would not be trading crypto. Biscuit max short from top, but pretty cheap to buy here. Why not just flip and buy the discount? The discount is like pretty obvious. That's why I'm like more delta positive, shifted towards like getting into buys and getting into like retraces as well. Looks pretty nice on the hard time frame so far. I just hope like there's more momentum to like support it for a move all the way back up to like 112k at least, and that'd be a very nice trade. That's what I
We were
have.
looking at 112K, like back towards the wall.
Back towards which low?
The wall on like
The value
V8.
area low, yeah, right here. I guess like we formed a sort of like a new value as well, which would be a much easier trade. And looking at Ethereum does not look bad at all. It's like the only thing that looks bad right here is that it's like grinding down still. I guess like the moment this could be, to me, this could be like considered like a value in it if we just like get back all the way back up to some of these low right here. But for that we'll have to break this right high right here, and it's just more based off of momentum. And I guess like I would say if you just like let price develop, it would be like very easy to trade. And somebody said like it's Friday, and if you get to see like a nuke on Friday, usually it retraces gracefully all the way back up on the weekend. So
Yeah, on the
yeah,
weekends.
something that I'm looking for if moving for the next few days is like I'd look for Asia session of tomorrow, like Saturday, and I guess based off of that, I could take a very nice trade. That is something that I'd be looking for.
Yeah, Sunday is good to trade. Saturdays are not.
Yeah. Saturdays are good for
So
adjusting bias. If like there's basically no move that's happening on a Saturday, if the Asia session or the peak, let's say Saturday opens here and the Asia session is like doing this, it's likely nothing happens in London as well, and probably something happens in New York, but most of the time that doesn't. And it's likely if Sunday also opens up like very slow, it doesn't do shit in London, and by the time it's New York Open, it's gonna do like a Sunday scam pump or a scam move, something like that, and that is when like volatility occurs if Saturday Asia session does not work out. That's basically how the time frame unrolls up and to like weekend and just right before weekdays as well. It like starts to move again. That's pretty much how I'll take a look at the weekends. Does anybody have any other questions at the moment? Anything to ask of me or One Piece? Let's take a look at what other guys are doing here as well. I guess like everybody like is in a very nice long and they're like expecting much higher. But for that you need this is the Ethereum chart. This is the Ethereum on the lower time frame looks something like this. I can add that draw here. Oh yeah, Ethereum. If you open Ethereum One Piece, I guess I could show.
the piece of Ethereum.
Yeah, it's if you go to the lower time frame, we are just trying to hope this like breaks this specific high right here, and whenever that is broken, we would yeah, this high right here. This could be this could be like if you can stop your chart, I guess I could draw. Yeah, this like could be some sort of like a retrace into the pivotal lower high. So you would need like this sort of momentum to kick in around here for you to understand, okay, there's a shift in overall bearish momentum and we could like reach out for a much higher. I guess that would be thing. It's just that if you really think we go for the lows, you probably hold on to it because that would sweep the liquidation. We probably one more thing. Like if you think that this low is gonna be taken, if you're into getting into like any sort of shorts, and if you think you're gonna target this low, then your target shouldn't be this low. It should be all the way to the other lows and maybe even lower. Because if you really think like it's gonna go here and it's gonna boom do that, that's not really what it's gonna do. There's a lot of liquidity that's not taken even after the flash dump. So this is liquidity that's built up for months and weeks. So the moment it catches up to any of these lows, it's likely that it goes like much lower and eventually reaches up to a higher time frame PY where it eventually just stops out. I guess that's how you could like play this momentum structure out. Phantom ask, how do you plan to trade looking at the current price section using Quasimodo? Using Quasimodo, looking at the current price section, I don't see like sort of Quasimodo at the moment. Maybe you can think that this is like a break structure and then you expect this, but it's a very hard time frame chart. There's more to just PA to this chart. If you understand like volumetric tools and volumetric understanding, I guess there is way more to look at in this chart. On the lower time frame,
You're
okay.
saying in the long
Yeah, on the lower
yeah.
time frame, the Quasimodo is already playing out. This is when the stream started. I think I was pretty clear that this is a Quasimodo, like explained here, and you're gonna get along here. I longed around here, and then you're gonna get along right around here, which was around here. It got here, and it went pumped up all the way. So this was a very nice Quasimodo in the play. This is how it like literally played out real time in front of us. Do you ask, what are your thoughts on spot Ethereum holding? Assuming entry was way lower, would you continue holding or just sell on a bounce since we're expecting chop? Very good question. Like, if your entry on Ethereum is below like this level 2K, 2.6K as well, I guess the best thing that you can do is like just hold on to it. If your entry is like somewhere around this range, I guess you you're just gonna hold on to Ethereum, maybe it does never comes back to this point and it just like pops up all the way to like 6k, 5k. But if your entry is way above around here, I guess I would not recommend you to like hold it if and like hold into a chop for weeks and weeks. I guess like if you're planning, because Ethereum to me is a very long-term trade, and if you were just looking to swing it for a few weeks or a few months, then I guess you should be partialing and then looking for like re-entries and then adding more to like whenever price comes down lower. But to me, I have like picked up a lot of Ethereum like around 1,700, and I have no intentions of selling it, and that's my hard time frame trade for Ethereum. Okay. Asked. I know I'm a bit late to ask. How have you been copying since the robbery? Do you think there's a chance you'll catch a person who did it? I don't think there's a chance anymore because I did like look into legal actions and stuff as well. For he's talking about the hack, my hack, and how I lost money, and yeah, it's pretty cooked of a situation, but I have grown into it. I have moved on from it already, and I have like laws and actions working against it. But if I keep thinking of reminiscing about the past, then I guess I will never be able to like progress for the future. So I like try to look more forward, and that does. If I keep thinking about the past, if I keep thinking about the mistakes that I've done or the regrets that I hold, I guess what is gonna happen is gonna like that's gonna ruin my trading and my way of making money, and that's gonna eventually lead me to a depressive streak, losing streak eventually. So I'd like to divert my focus more from the past to the future and trying to make things better. That's what I do. Next question. Can you check Soul for me? We can check Soul real quick. Astra is like very shit at the moment. Solana, higher time frame or lower time frame? Let's just take a look at it. Solana does not look bad at all right here. Very nice setup, I guess. Like it's just this lower high structure on altcoins right now that is like it's trying to break up. It's into higher low level. It's looking pretty good, but it's just like it's trending down still. So you would need to see like momentum kick in into the weekend. And if you get to see that, then there's going to be like good trades that rotate all the way back up to the extreme. Um, what are the targets for spot Ethereum? Summer asked. The targets for spot Ethereum for me is supposed to be like way above 5k. But as you can see, the 5k waiting room is so much. Like everybody's just like waiting for 5k. This is everybody visually. And everybody's been waiting for 5k since what, like 2021 to like 2024. Like everybody have just been basically waiting for like 5k. So I have no idea when it like reaches that. Specifically based on the sort of like higher time frame structure that we have right now, it could, I don't know, it could hit like 5k after doing something like this as well. This is now like something that I see. It could do like this as well. Like it's very probability based at this point. Next question. Do you think Bitcoin going now lower to 105k? I think it's gonna go much lower based off of this break of load right here.
Possibly,
Possible.
or
No.
10K.
No. 10k is
Ethereum,
quite a
right?
stretch. No. How about
That's quite a
How
stretch.
about
I'm also looking
XRP?
at Ethereum at this point. Like I have a POI mark at 2,800, which
Yeah.
I do believe it can be hit if there's a rally on BTC again. But afterwards, yeah, as I said, Ethereum is gonna touch 5K before gold.
Yeah. I would like to believe so as well. Or maybe both of them don't touch 5k, and we end up in a 5k waiting room again. Everybody's just like waiting
That
for
can happen.
5k, and that's not something that's been going on for like weeks. It's going on for like months and months and probably a year now. And looking at XRP sweep was very brutal.
Not brutal and only the atom that happened on Binance.
Yeah. Um. Nuke 5k waiting. I look at gold and ETH. Okay. Taking a look at
Yeah,
XRP. Somebody asked about like XRP.
Binance, like for most people, it was not just Adam Inch. There was also like one more altcoin. I don't remember the name.
Yeah,
They
Adam
will,
went to zero as well, and ENJ and Binance. Yeah, Binance like pretty much shit its pants. Like Binance is like such a shitty place. It's like holding 130k worth of my funds as well. I just like hate Binance at this point, even though I was like promoting like Binance for quite a long time back in the year. But the way like it has developed after like CZ having left, it's just gone to shit. The customer support is shit, and like everybody that's like that was in like liquidative like positions, they could not manage their positions for shit. And I know some people that got liquidated on Binance just because like their liquidation system just like went off, and people who were like doing P2Ps, who were like doing withdrawals, a lot of that was like stuck as well. Usual market shenanigans, but like Binance just took it to another level. So just anything on Binance, like it has like been done wrong. It just criminal like terrorist activities on like Binance.
yeah. Even if you look at current withdrawals, you will find like Binance has the most withdrawals right now. Like people are emptying Binance right now.
Kind of on purpose crime. Will it make somebody rich? Well, not us.
Definitely the Nepo kid.
What's BDC doing at the moment? Just rejecting off of here for now. Taking a look at the lower time frame, just rejecting off of the lower time frame right here. And yeah, this is the sort of like structure you would want to see, and then you're like, okay, this is going to lead to a retrace likely all the way down to the extreme PI. Wait, I have a lot going on in my chart. Let me just delete a bunch of this stuff. Okay, the inner chart. Okay, this is the Quasimodo level that I was looking for. We come here and then we like pop up into this PI right here. And if you are taking any sort of long right here or even here, you try to TP partial to right around here. And the moment it breaks down, you just look for the extreme of the PI that you have. And it's likely that it either has to like grind all the way back up, start grinding, start showing you signs of life around here. If it does not do that, it's likely it's going back all the way to the extreme PI very, very easily. This is how I like to see the lower time frame and make my deductions. Um, One Piece, can you take a look at the COA USDT? What I have not
Oh yeah,
shown.
sure. COA, right?
Yeah.
That's just a new coin. Oh, it's going straight at 20s. Well, who said COA? Like, could you tell me if it's currently working on any news or something? Because the bump on it is quite unreal.
Nice. Does anybody have any other coins? Because like for now, I think like BTC just like starts to stall and it starts to like hold these lows, and they're just like, oh my god, there's a lot going on my chart. Just start to like stall for quite some time. And I guess the best thing that you can do is let price develop into Saturday's Asia session. So you have a few hours off. If we don't get like a volatile move in the next 30-40 minutes, you have a few hours off. Just observe Saturday's Asia session. And if you're able to observe something that moves, that is going to be your cue to be active on the weekend. If nothing moves, then just come back like Sunday New York session and then just like take your weekend off. And like thanks everybody that's like been joining my streams. I love talking to everybody right here, and I love talking to people I invite over. I hope like you guys enjoy the stream. And if you have any questions anytime, just like hit like the
Ethan
Shinicord
is asking,
community
like,
up.
what are your favorite three anime recommendations?
My top three favorite anime. I guess go for just Kaisen, then go for like Naruto, then go for I guess I don't know like Bleach. I read more mangas than I read like I see like anime. Mangas are pretty good. Like if you ask me manga,
Okay.
I think I can share like manga recommendations in the next stream. Death Note, of course.
But if you want to have, like a good laugh over the weekend, just watch this one. You will love this.
Manga session you on the weekends. I think we can do like gaming sessions on the weekend. Yeah, for sure.
I can't DM him, man. Yeah, have you like watched Grand Blue Dreaming?
What?
Let me just write it on the shot, man. I can't write here.
One anime I guess like you guys would like very enjoy would be Gintama. Gintama is like very funny. That is a very goated anime. I'll just write it in the chat right here. Goated
Bro,
anime.
I think if someone is going for a funny one, they should go for Grand Blue Dreaming.
Grand Blue.
That's
Grand
funny.
Blue.
That's good. Grand Blue Dreaming. It just releases next season this year,
Yeah.
and it's the funniest I have ever seen. Like the funniest anime I've ever seen.
Nice. If like people are interested, I guess we can do like gaming streams with the entire three like Shinicore on weekends because like pretty much like everybody's bored when there's like basically no sort of move happening in the market and like just insufferable chop most of the time if like there's nothing going on in the Asia session and that just like ruins everybody's mood. I guess if that's like something that we could do, that'd be very fun.
Yeah, that could be
Yeah,
fun.
well, I guess thank you guys
Looks like a game
for
we're
joining,
gonna do.
and I'll see you guys later. I appreciate everybody that's joined so far and like likes my stream. See you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Goodbye. Take
Okay,
care
guys, take care.
and enjoy your weekend.